Women's Month continues. Holistic Solutions. Let's go. Maybe not. Hello.
Hey, how are you? Welcome to Holistic. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you. Welcome, fam.
Show me your place. This is incredible. First off, the drive-thru had me floored.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I had no idea.
Yes.
That is magnificent.
French kiss, right?
Yes. Weed through the drive-thru. How mind-blowing was that, Jalen?
I love it. It's so convenient. I mean, you can shop, have a seamless conversation with your children, go grocery shopping, go right through the drive-thru. It is a normalized institution to where your children, this is a Wells Fargo bank that we converted into a dispensary.
I know, you did such a good job because the outside does not look, the mural makes it look incredible. Illuminates because it's like a highway here, so it like beautifies it almost.
Yes, at night it looks sick, but definitely Art by Alasia, local women supporting local women, so definitely. I love it. We'd love to start here. You know, when you walk into Holistic, it's kind of like walking into our house, we would say, all homage to our mother. So it's just a painting that we found during construction that me and my brothers felt like really represented, like, you know, embodied our muma. So
that's awesome.
So it's just kind of like walking in and just kind of the blessing of a conversation. So from the moment you walk into Holistic, community-led, community-driven, everything handpicked, which is wonderful. From the first time I sketched the first concept of the architectural to submitting it through planning board and permitting to picking out every piece of art. It's just really inspiring, and the community has been very welcoming. So this is our space. We've really curated what we say is like a welcoming vibe. We're Caribbean and Jamaican. So I always say
it's your roots.
Yeah, you can never go to Jamaica and have a bad time, right? As you see, like from our ocean of that blue, that water that welcomed and brought us to our island, from that lovely sun that brought that sunshine of the green of our land, you know. Definitely, like every touch is personal. So I love a herringbone floor. That was one of the things. Yes.
Me too. I
love good architecture
love details.
And classic working. And again, I wanted it to be not like a bank.
Right.
I wanted people to come in and have like a very like normalized shopping experience, but to say, I'm coming here to have an experience specifically for cannabis. Right. Let's kind of take you over. This piece right here was like my second love. I went to a local art store and I'd look behind. I was like, oh, that is sick. A man said, it's called The Plant. And I was just like, let's try to finagle a conversation of getting this. So that was like the second piece of art that I remember really being passionate about when I went out. And as they said, permitting was almost done. And then I said, you know, Holistic is what we call a natural beauty. We started dressing her, putting her makeup on, which was the first part of doing the mural.
Okay. So your whole family is sort of involved, right?
Very much. It's a labor of love. So it's myself, my brother, my nieces.
That's amazing.
My significant other, you know. The kids, even prior to being operational, they were here often, helping out,
you know, I know
seeing
what that's
the journey,
like.
You know, like, listen, I have to come here, have a meeting, sit on a pink bucket, you know, get things together. But, you know, this right here is just kind of just like a nice space of just safety. So for us, you know, the eye, always bless our circle. Make sure, you know, vibrations always remain high energy.
I love it. It's really big.
Thank you. Absolutely. And meeting community where they are. I think, you know, especially with cannabis and plant-based options of how opioids have been so, you know, destructive to our community. When people are thinking about another choice, that engagement piece of having someone that they can relate to on that other side of that conversation is very helpful. And then also, too, we've been intentional of how we've even help support team members, and we call ambassadors. Some of our ambassadors are clinically trained. Many of them have clinical backgrounds themselves. I'm also a cannabis medical patients connoisseur. So again, when you come in, you're having a conversation. I'm a medical patient. So with that, you know, understanding plant-based with my herbalist roots, and then kind of making it in a more of a regulatory sense to be compliant, right?
What is this we have here?
So this right here, Holistic Solutions, it is a branded battery that we came out with probably a year ago. Vapes are our really second consumable category here, secondarily the flower. So we wanted to have something to where our customers walked away and kind of continue to carry the message of holistic. We hit it the first one with that bright blue teal, which is kind of like the vibration of our waters. We're from the grill, and you could always say like the water's crystal clear blue. So we always look to have that.
Incredible.
The jewelry is women-inspired Black woman. Ami, she is over in Philadelphia, so it is female-inspired jewelry, also female-inspired pottery. So again, minority, female, veteran, Breakwater, one of the premier medical providers along with Hillview. We've been carrying them from like the beginning.
Wow.
It's been a really good relationship. And then again, we have some of our great adult use partners. We're adding our bud bar.
Okay. Yep, I see you. Yeah, very intentional. Very intentional. Something that I love that you said, I think is really important for people to really start to learn when you're operating and you're paying attention to how your business functions is, you said your secondary category that does the best is vaping, right? And you then took that understanding and said, how can I use that in a marketing standpoint, right?
Absolutely.
To then carry that message.
Correct.
And to brand that, because, you know, if you're a store and you do good with flour, maybe you get a flour product, but to find a workaround and it to be really in a more ancillary way is really brilliant. And you would only be able to do that if you had a pulse on your store and know what's really doing well, what's selling, what's moving, and understanding the consumer that you're serving.
So let me tie it into our next product before we introduce our team, because we have a great team members. This is our own candy bar. It's called the Friendship Bar. I designed it.
Okay.
So it is low dose, 2.5 milligrams, 40 units.
Okay.
So it's a collaboration of love. So thinking, you know, how do we provide a product as a small minority-owned operator, not having the cash flow, and being able to really scale something on our own? How do we creatively work with partners? I'm loving this drive-through today. It's popping. How do we work with some of our partners to be able to bring something to life? So we worked with our partners, Inclusion Gourmet, and we brought together a really tasty Belgium milk chocolate bar that really goes toward our philanthropic give back. So every bar that you buy goes right back to our community community groups.
That's such a creative way to use a relationship. And
Absolutely,
be able to,
absolutely. So we highlight our community sponsors, our supports. So every time someone purchases a bar, it goes right back into what we love, our community. And we've gotten some of our dispensary partners. Hopefully I can chat you up about being the next one to join on or doing something collaborative like that. But, you know, if we're already giving back, and I say that we do that a lot in many
we do. So
ways.
many facets, so many.
And as a small business owner like, you know, ourselves, we can't always pull those monies out of our accounts. So how do we come up with something that, A, helps our consumer, ourselves, our vendor partners, creation of the Friendship Bar.
You gotta find ways to be creative. I mean, it's the same thing what this is all about, right? We're collaborating for Women's Month, and I think this is great because we now get to amplify all of the women in the state that are doing this great work, but uniquely, you know?
And another good thing too is that our medical patients have better medical access. So you can stay in your vehicle, use the drive-through. For those who have ambulatory and other related needs, it's just another level of access for them. So that was one of the things that we were intentional in our first submission of our application. I submitted it for a drive-through.
That was brilliant. Let me tell you, you know, I have little kids, so taking them out of the car seat and just to make a quick run is such a pain. I'm always looking for a drive-through.
Exactly.
That's very, very convenient. So I think we should grab a product. Let's take a little smoke because I want to learn about Atco.
Let me introduce our team before we go.
Oh, absolutely. Let's do it.
All right. So Tiara, I want to introduce you to Dr. Lazar. She is an entrepreneur.
Nice to meet you.
She is another cannabis owner in the space up in Jersey City. And I was just sharing with Dr. Lazar that, you know, one of the things I love about Holistic is that our intentionality with a background and a diversity of our staff. Some of our staff are also clinically trained and also have a clinical background. So, you know, and that's like, you know, Tiara don't know if you want to talk about maybe
What's your background?
Yep, so I'm a licensed clinical social worker. So I've been in mental health for several years. So right now I work in a residential facility. I'm the clinical director there for male adolescents, age 14 and a half to about 18.
Okay.
So I have been kind of dabbling with the idea of private practice to offer like cannabis informed psychotherapy and then eventually cannabis assisted psychotherapy. So it's just something I'm reading into and like trying to get a little feel for what I want to do. So
Okay.
yeah.
How's this journey been?
This has been great. I've been here now almost 2 years in July.
Okay.
So I've been learning a lot. I am a medical patient. I'm a lupus warrior. So like I've been kind of exploring some things that kind of work for me. And Sue has been great. I was living at Atco. I literally Googled dispensary near me. I think she was only open a few days or maybe a couple weeks. And I've been hooked since. I was a medical patient, started working here. The team is great. She is great.
Thank you. And Tiara's great as well. So we appreciate you and just thank you so much for taking time out.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. And this is for Women's Month, so we really, want to highlight all the women doing incredible things, and obviously has incredible women on her team. So thank you for all you contribute. Good to meet you. Yes, be well. Hello. Hi, Nab. Nice to meet you. My name is Eliza.
Nice to meet you.
How long you been here?
I've been here about to be a year.
Okay.
Actually, next month.
All right.
March, actually March, yeah.
How's it
It's about
been?
to be here. I love it here.
Good,
Feels like
good.
family. I love it. She loves it.
Hello. Hi, Caitlin. Nice to meet you.
I've been here since September.
Okay.
About 6 months now.
Okay.
It's been good.
This first dispensary you're working?
Yes.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
Everybody's very friendly. There's like a family in there.
Awesome. It's a fun space to work in, right? It's different
Definitely.
from all the other jobs that existed in the world. Now we have a new one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Katie, we also work, Katie's mom is our supervisor. She is our general manager supervisor here. So
Awesome.
Karen. So it's like, again, a family of love.
Yep, yep.
So Jackie's also.
I am like,
Yeah.
you're brilliant. Brilliant.
This is my brother, Frank.
Hello. How you doing, Frank? Good
Yeah.
to meet you.
So I was just telling Dr. Eliza that, it's a family operation, so it's me, you, his daughter, Deja.
So if you don't see one of us, you'll see her.
Okay.
Exactly. I'm older by a year.
All right. Living the dream? Yeah.
We're just focused and busy right now trying to get product.
I got you.
Stuff like that.
I know.
You look very familiar.
Yeah, this one.
You've probably seen her at an event that we were out about.
No. Because I don't go to events.
That's something.
Nah, I'm just saying, because that's why I keep looking at you, because I'm just trying to figure out mentally, like.
Yeah, he doesn't go to events.
Look.
And I'll show you around. So I'm gonna say, jump in my car.
Where's your car?
Right there, truck. And then show you around. So we created this little area right here where team members can sit and have a little bench. We actually have a little barbecue. So this is technically considered not part of the dispensary from the DeMar.
But you said this lot is yours, right?
But for employee usage, right here, this is not part of the dispensary. So employees can sit here and consume, right? The town won't let anyone come over here, but and then we have a thing here. We have chairs. We'll put a little grill out.
That's nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, they have their own little space.
yeah.
Yep,
So,
that's cool.
but this lot from all the way over, we have
Wow. It's a lot of space. Let's go.
Mayor Wade. He big personality, wonderful man. But he said, "Sorry, I'm late. I'm high, happy, and hungry." You have hello. Let me try to follow you over to where you're going. And then I had said, and we'll start driving and you'll see, as you see the conversation.
So this was before you landed here.
Oh, I kiss a whole lot of frogs.
Okay. So when you you heard that entrance of a conversation, you were like, yeah, that's the type of place I gotta be.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at that point, we had a compliant spot leased in town, but I knew that was not going to be my home. And it wasn't really in a place where I felt like we were going to be successful. So literally the very next day, I got in my car and I drove out here. And I started saying, okay, well, I'm familiar with this area. In Cora, I did one of my internships there. It's a little further down the road. Let me kind of check it out. So, Atco, this is where my dog goes to daycare. Miss Donna's house right here.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I'm driving. I'm like, okay. I drove out to see a saloon. Now this is how more of this area is being developed. So we're gonna pull over here and Spark on the way back. I sponsored the fishing derby here last year.
There's a fishing derby.
Yeah, we have fishing derbies. This shit was live.
Yo, I love New
Trout.
Jersey. Oh my God, I love New
Fishing
Jersey.
derby.
You can
This
get
is our second
anything.
dispensary.
Okay.
Women-owned micro green oasis.
Okay.
Go Atco.
And a good distance too, so that's all right.
Good distance.
I mean, compared to some of that other stuff I saw going on up there. But not too many in the city, right? Of actual Atco?
Not too many in the
Okay.
city. Not too many in the city. Well, we were the first. So their hometown,
Okay.
meaning that they live here.
Okay.
Families have been here probably for many decades. We are not from this area. I have community roots in this county, but not this area.
So essentially, the mayor is being pretty smart about making sure that, you know, there's responsible folks here, local folks here, people do.
But the Last Chance Saloon, I had looked at this. So I'd come down to the town to look at this building, which is still vacant, unfortunately. And then I called the mayor. I was so excited, and he had said, Chislehurst, it's not Atco. If you find something in Atco, call me back. I was like, all right, bet. I literally did what I'm doing now. I busted you, and I turned it around. I said, okay, let's go back. I had my kids in the car, and I were telling them, snap pictures of any for sale, available lease sign that you see. That's what me and my children did on many days. I would look for another building. All right, everyone jump out, take pictures. Because mommy needs to find a building.
Right. I love this. This was like a whole family effort.
Of course. And then I came back, and I was like, okay, now we're in Waterford. So I'm like, all right, Waterford, Atco. Grew up in South Jersey, always knew about Atco Raceway, one of the biggest racetracks in the area. I'm a 4-H club kid. I'm country. You know, we grew up in creeks, shotguns in the backwoods, you know, dirt bikes. I had looked at this, but this has a liquor license. Can't have liquor and cannabis together, but I continue to eye this up for a great consumption space. Even though someone lives there, this would be zoned in, and we've talked about how we could bifurcate this. Covington is a black-owned funeral business. Know the Covington as well.
That spot is black owned?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Funeral home.
The amount of people that you have coming, I mean, is showing that there's clearly, and the amount of dispensaries that are here just in general, show that there's clearly a demand.
A demand, but I also say just because you build it doesn't mean it'll come.
That is so true.
And I think that is something, you know, I continue to be like a zealot about customer service, the intentionality of making people feel welcomed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I always tell people we grew up on the islands, or I come from an island, and we depend on tourism. So we depend on the kindness of others, right? The graciousness of others. So you would leave a tip. Sometimes the best jobs that we can even aspire to are to go to work on a resort. And when people spend their hard-earned money, regardless if it's $1, I want people to be like, it was worth it.
Yeah.
I feel appreciated.
Because they work hard for that money and they went
Absolutely.
and spent it
Absolutely.
on your dream, right? The businesses that we're creating are our dream, and we have to value what each other's bringing to the table. You're bringing a product, an experience. They're bringing hard-earned, right? And then they're trusting. They're trusting that we're giving them the product that is not an upsell, but that is related to what they need, finding their solutions. And that's what I always loved about your name is that, I always say, I'm a champion for holistic solutions for people. Finding them solutions that are holistic is an incredible name.
Exactly. So we'd love to be able to come by the water, especially on a warmer day. You see people come over here and doing exactly what she's doing, fishing. There's some great trout.
fishing right
Yeah,
now?
she's fishing right now over there.
That's amazing.
Trout, kids come over here and just draw a simple spliff. But no, it's a great community lake. And when they thought about who they wanted to sponsor, holistic. So we got a great picture with the trout winner.
That's awesome. So people were just fishing and
Fishing on a Saturday.
burning and wow, that's dope.
For sure.
Brr. Atco, baby. Came all the way down to Atco. I got me a little chef's kiss because, I did that little movement earlier and Suzan knew. She was like, I'm going to get her that daily, that niche, all right? Straight out of the Bergen. Woo! I like when it's wrapped like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I love pre-rolls. I'm so not a pre-roll. You know all the issues people always have with pre-rolls.
Yep.
We own dispensaries and we hear you, we know.
Exactly.
We all deal with it.
But no, that's fire. Atco crossed with some GMO. I mean, I'm loving niche. I just love the fact that, such great cultivation. Their strain selection is fire.
Got him.
Fire. Fire.
This is beautiful. She's fishing right now. This
Class
is
of
great.
2019. I love the terps, like that underlying note in your mouth when you hold it.
Yep. I still got it. It's good. It's good.
Very good.
Fatso GMO.
So yeah, we're in Atco. Thank you for pulling up, showing love.
Of course.
One of the things that relaxes me is the water. So as you see, I brought you where, we sponsored our fishing derby last year for our community. Cannabis, fishing, community, all coming together. It's been just a blessing to be here and operational. And as you see, community's out fishing
Yeah.
on a nice Saturday.
This is awesome. I feel like this is such a cool backdrop. Look at us with the truck and our spliffs. This is great. This is amazing.
And
Congratulations.
that's the beauty of Jersey.
We were just talking about that on the drive down. There's so many different
Dispensaries are
landscapes.
all over. People are operational in so many different parts of the state, doing so many different things, servicing so many different levels of community.
Yep, for sure.
I love that.
For sure. I love it. I mean, just me going around and seeing we all have our own little touch, story,
Yep.
how we're weaving that into what we're building.
Yeah. And what you're building where you are looks fundamentally different from what I'm building, but we're all building.
Yep.
And that's what I always tell people, and people are like, well, I want to compare, and I'm like, don't. That's how you find yourself to be in a state of like mental chaos, because your store location, foot traffic, journey, data population, social, it's a different spend set.
Yep. Yep.
So you have to look at, okay, what is your community, right?
Yeah.
And then lean in there. So for us, it's like, continue to lean in.
Yeah, enough folks don't really dig into the data and say, who am I serving? Who's coming in here the most? Everyone wants to force a fit, and the famous thing I always say is like, stop looking at other people's paper.
Yes.
Yeah.
And our old, like I said, our youngest patient is like 1, and our oldest patient is going to be 98.
Wow.
World War II veteran.
Wow.
Yes, 98.
Jeez, that's amazing.
And he's mobile now with plant-based options, to where before he didn't have those options. So I just love it.
You are helping so many people in so many ways. And it's such a beautiful thing. I mean, you have so many accessibility points of your shop too. you know, I feel like being in the inner city, sometimes that's something I'm not able to offer, but being able to have the drive-through, right, for the elderly, for any accessibility, for moms, for, you know, people that just need the convenience,
Yeah.
but then also the in-store experience for those that are really seeking a more tailored experience, something that's, you know, more intimate.
Yeah.
But then you also have I mean, you're just really finding ways to help people get their medicine in every single way. It's amazing.
I've talked good friends who have come to my house and smoked, but because of whatever their profession is, won't come to the store, but will use the drive-thru because they don't have to get out. They'll place their order online, and they just love the discreetness of being able to go get what they need. Maybe call ahead.
Yep.
We have patients that literally call us. It's kind of like ordering at a deli. So we walk them through, you know, and those more of our medical patients that don't use technology well. Again, lean in and meet them where they are.
But that means that there's trust.
Yeah.
Because that means that the bud tenders who are talking to them, they're trusting the recommendation when they are breaking down what their ailment is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think
awesome.
that's something that we as owners, we all go through, like the hiring and curating a team. For us, I think we're in a really good place right now, and we've appreciated everyone who's been a part of our journey, whatever they've contributed. But I think being intentional to where sometimes we'll say we won't bring anyone else on until we make sure it's like a really good fit.
Right.
Some of us would rather take extra longer hours, cover different shit, rather than bring someone who's not really a good mix and a good vibe and not a good mindset. So I think, and that's where I see growth in the team, where we have that lean-in ability now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're looking to expand to delivery. We don't have that up and running yet. That's like my next push out. And then really to do something more in like our family manufacturing and cultivation. You know, I think I don't think I've ever grown anything legal. I would like to be able to say, like, I grew something legal that was bought and sold into something that, you know,
Yeah.
I could actually show my kids other than a back in the day, like blenders and Ziplocs that we used to do, right? Because that was us, like blenders, we didn't cut it, dumped it in a blender, chopped it up, what you came at, you bag that up.
Yep.
You can't show my kids like an old school Ziploc bag. They're going to be like, Mom, please.
Oh,
You know?
you think we're in the trap?
Exactly. Right? So, you know, getting a little bit more elevated with it.
All right. I love it.
Teaching the kids about business, telling them, listen, like, you guys will be the next generation of this. My son's talking about, well, you know, where was my margins today?
Okay.
You know, seemed a little slow during like the 2 o'clock, like, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like,
I love it. Gotta teach them early, man.
exactly. Let me see your digital marketer. Like, you need to make it a little bit brighter, poppier. You know, like the feedback of the millennials.
Yes,
Right?
yes. Yeah.
And other people being like, no, like, Auntie, that's not your place. And I'm like, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and
that's why you have different family members who are
Yes.
Deja, her aesthetics,
Yes.
to where sometimes she's just like, like, no. Like, I know, like, I'm going to let them do it.
Yep. I keep
They're gonna take care
my
of it.
young man around. Yep.
Exactly.
I get you.
Exactly.
Well, thank you for doing this with me.
Oh, no, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
And thank you for pulling up an Atco.
Yeah, this
Putting
has
Atco
been-
on the map.
Yeah, for sure. That was the main thing. I wanted to go into the communities and see, like, again, to your point, everyone's stores in a different place, servicing a different community. But I really admire all of us that are going to be on this jacket because, you know, everyone is in their own space. You know, you're the first Black woman, like, just
Thank you.
really leading the charge, right? We have Darsh, that she is in Roselle, and Joy Leaf is such a beautiful brand.
Beautiful brand.
Yeah,
She's
like
an amazing person.
Yes, she is,
And
and
her
just
story.
her whole spirit, and you know, also with Sarah, also being in the medical space, like that's the
Yes,
other thing.
Sarah,
I'm
I love
AU,
classmates
but
too.
I am, you know, as a veteran, cannabis saved me in so many ways. So I am not, a medical dispensary. So I admire you both so much for always putting the medical patient at the forefront and keeping that conversation going, because it does seem, and I know the people say it, that ever since we went rec, it's like we forgot about the medical patient, all the dispos flipped, and you know, so it is still important that some of us keep that.
It's our lifeblood.
Yes.
I mean, we applied for a medical license. We were intentional. You know, I grew up under a herbalist. To everything was plant-based, science, wellness-based.
Yeah.
So I wanted to create a pathway of wellness. and God bless that intention of selecting our application and really just covering our part in our process and guiding us in the places that, you know, we continue to journey in. And then just general resilience. I think us as women, one of the things that I'm just so happy about is just that inner grit that we have of resilience. Out of the many no's, we find a way to make them all yeses. So I just say the beauty of being a woman is just to be celebrated, and just thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, let's get back in the car.
Let's go.
My sorority sister's her daughter. She does all of the work for Wawa, all their window art.
I forgot that you were Greek. My wife is Greek. I told you before, right? Yeah. The only one that I felt like actually really cared supported me in the lead is I know a lot of people aren't a fan of him, is Sweeney.
Yeah.
He was very committed to like, and you know, and I also appreciate the fact that he's more moderate, 'cause I feel like it's more sensible stuff, you know? Everything cannot be charity. We have to, yeah, we have to have some sensible stuff. So I don't know, I think it's gonna be really interesting, but I sat as this is beautiful, this is a lot of space.
So we did, so we'll do activations. So we have like new brand stuff if we want to go live, and we like set up like a little studio off space. But ultimately, Future Homes the manufacturer will live here. We have the space for it. We do a podcast, we'll pull this up, and we have like the holistic solution background. That's the original closet back here. So all of this was built out during that like month and a half. Like this was all, none of this existed here. None of it.
Wow. Yeah. You definitely could do so much, man.
So we'll have events down here at Queen and Wellness. And then we talked about we've done some activations, some clinical stuff, and some expungement stuff as well. Talked about doing an activation with Rutgers Law School. And another area where we hide and store our decorations. So currently the closet goes all the way back. And then we're going to cut the room and kind of keep it private. That's already vault approved over there. Cambered out. So
Some more space,
yeah, and just another area, or also to another touch point, because this door will lead right back to the sales floor upstairs, and then you can lock it. The back room is the IT and the storage, and then you can also swipe card this. So it's
This had to be on there, like.
so I had predatory people who
I remember you told me the
were
story.
horrible, and then I had a really good colleague. He said, if you find a building, I'll buy it for you. I'm like, really? Okay. Found a couple buildings. He was willing to buy them. Just didn't really work out in townships. And then, like I said, I busted the U and I drove back. And there was a for sale sign here. And then the mayor met me and he said that this would need a variance. And how was I with people? And I was like, you have me, hello. And then he explained Miss Jenny. And then I said, let me try to talk to them and say, you know, this is why I want to, this is what I see, and this is how we can get back, and we can really be great, you know, neighbors. And then out of her needs and those conversations, we got the variance approved without any community objection, a unanimous community vote. And they've just been rocking with this. Chief of police was out directing traffic during our opening. So I mean, it's just been really, really nice to see that. And also the employment piece, that we were able to employ residents. They were our best ambassadors. People, we spent and invested over $1.1 million back into our local community with the build of our project and getting everything up and running. And all those jobs, all that money didn't go anywhere but back here. So, you know, when we show up, you know, strong. So we always say Atco strong, Waterford strong. It's just very, very happy to be here. And like I said, concept. Slow and intentional. Sometimes I always say that the hair doesn't always bring the waist.
You got the part to sort people out.